Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Officer Extra. This is Officer Extra. I am extra concerned with your safety. This place is called The Fit. You gotta be fit to work here. I obviously am an example of perfection and do not need to work out at all. We're gonna go say hello. This is Nathan over here. What exactly happens in this place?
Get the muscle gains right here.
I thought that there were like napping machines upstairs.
There is.
There is napping machines upstairs. That's not correct English, Nathan. We're not off to a very strong start here. Here, what do these knobs do?
Those are just the music.
That's just
trying to get turned up.
What does that mean to get turned up? That does not make sense.
You want to get lit.
I'm a safety officer. The last thing I do is want to be lit or lighten something up. I don't think that's very safe. What does this thing do?
It's intercom.
Hello, this is Officer Extra letting you know that I am in charge now. You are going to have a safe and pleasant afternoon. What happens over here? Tell me again.
This is where you get big.
What does that mean? I gotta get big.
You come to get big, you get swole, you get big muscles.
You are not talking English to me. So swole is like swollen, like I got bit by a bug or something? Nathan, what's over here?
We have our ellipticals and we have some treadmills over here.
And what do we do on an elliptical?
You get on it and you ellipse.
You're gonna teach me how to ellipse on an elliptical? How does this work?
You gotta saddle it.
I gotta saddle it?
Yep.
I'm on it. Now what do I do?
You gotta pump the arms.
There's a screen on here that wants me to touch it. I touch the screen.
You should probably start the
What?
machine.
The machine? I'm moving the machine, Nathan. I'm the one working. I'm powering the whole place right now with this kind of a workout. Look at that. I want to watch my favorite show, USF Housing Live.
We got some treadmills
It's tricky.
over here. Get on it and you run.
I have to run? I can't walk?
Nope.
Okay, I'm up on the treadmill. This is the most I worked out in like a century. Okay. Someone could fall right off the end of this and then get crushed under the back of that. You know that, right? You're gonna lose a foot. Please don't interrupt me, camera person. I get this camera person off the street yesterday.
It only took an afternoon.
You okay, officer?
I'm okay, just give me a second. I'm almost there. Okay, here we go, top level. There we go, I feel like a winner. All right, let's see what we got over this way.
Got nap pods and massage chairs in there.
I just sit in this thing and then what happens? The helmet thing comes down and closes off my air supply or something, or what?
Don't really know.
This is what this person wears to work. My camera person shows up like she's going to a gala, like she's got an awards ceremony. Oh, welcome everybody, it's Oscars night with Sierra the camera person. This is what happens when you go to www.rentacrewthat'snotgoodатtheirjob.com. Look at this, I feel like I'm going absolutely nowhere, just like my career. How about we go check out the pool? Hey, who we got over here? We got a lifeguard over this way. What's your name?
Brandon.
I honestly saw Brandon taking a nap about 30 minutes ago.
That was like my beauty rest.
Yeah,
like,
well, you...
just don't tell my boss.
Oh, good. It says lifeguard on there so he knows what his job name is. So what's happening over this way?
This is a couch, man.
Oh, that's comfortable. Oh, that's hot. That's
good
hot.
luck.
Why isn't there a warning sign on that? You know, I'm going to get a lawyer. Well, I'd like to say thank you to all the people who attempted to teach me something about the fit today. And so I think this is pretty cool over here in the fit. Oh, look, it's someone famous. It's Annette Gutierrez from News in 90. How you doing, Annette?
Doing swell.
Well, Annette, it was good to see you. Thank you so much for all those News in 90 episodes. We look forward to seeing more of those next year. But that's about all the time we got because guess what? And now it's time for USF Housing Live! Gregory Bowers, Sierra Rose, Maxwell Morinelli, Elisa Goldberg, Irene Naomi, Courtney Cadogan, Geraldine Paredes, June Dickens, Chris Herrera, Stephanie Jockman. Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. Coming to you from the beautiful University of South Florida campus in Tampa, it's USF Housing Live! Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. This is USF Housing Live. I'm your host, Gregory Bowers with Housing and Residential Education here at the beautiful University of South Florida in Tampa. Our motto, best place to live, best place to work, best place to learn. We are coming at you live like every week, and so if you have any questions during tonight's program, go ahead, type it in the comments wherever you're watching, and we'll answer you during the show in real time. Without further ado, let's go ahead and meet our guests. We have Kathleen Koviak from Wellness USF. Kathleen, welcome.
Thank you, Greg. Good to be here.
I'm glad to have you here, and you are a returner to the program, right?
Yeah, it's great to be back. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you back. We'll be speaking with Kathleen in just a moment, but first, we're going to meet one of our new staff members here at the University of South Florida, Ramon Borunda from the Provost Scholars Program. Ramon, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you here. And so as I mentioned, you are new to USF, but you've got some exciting stuff happening. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do here.
Absolutely. So I'm the director of the Provost Scholars Program. The Provost Scholars Program was created by Provost Wilcox to help support our students who come in with an immense amount of college credit and helping them track a 3-year program to graduation, along with providing mentorship and support in that track.
And so I imagine we have some Provost scholars watching tonight and family members, of course. And so tell us a little bit about the Provost Scholars Program LLC. Your inaugural year is coming up this fall.
Absolutely. So with our students who elect to be a part of PSP, can also have the opportunity to be a part of the LLC, which we're looking to create a community around the program, along with workshops, experiences, field trips, mentorship, not only in the communal aspect of with fellow peers, but also with faculty and staff that work with PSP.
Awesome. And so what are some of the benefits students are going to receive by living in your LLC?
So our primary focus is community. We hope to have like-minded individuals. So not all PSP students are of the same major, but they share a similar experience. Our students within the Provost Scholars Program generally have a time to degree of 3 years, which is a very intensive academic experience that may include some summer school in between that. So you're going to school fall, spring, and summer and do it all over again. So with that, we have students that share that similar experience and have the best tips, the best opportunities, the best opportunities in order to help each other in doing that. Along that, they have the mentorship of faculty that live in the LLC, which they can share experiences and have that mentorship and build the relationships, along with staff that work within PSP. Along that, with our requirements in professional development, in study abroad, as well as leadership, we have the focus of not only in the classroom, but out of the classroom. We bring all that not only from our different experiences that we have around USF, but bring that to the LLC as well.
That's so cool. So it sounds like you're going to be connecting students with these other experiences that USF offers, and it's part of the program itself.
Absolutely. So that's the goal. So we understand, again, going back to the idea that a 3-year experience is intensive, but it shouldn't be scary. All our students come in with an immense amount of AP credit, college credit, or if you're doing a dual enrollment degree, you have the opportunity to get start in the sophomore year. So that puts you ahead of most of your peers. However, we know that you want to get involved in different experience outside of the classroom, whether you want to be a part of an organization, you want to study in London and Paris, or if you want to study in Atlanta or LA. I love LA. So if you want that experience, you have that experience and we guide you. We bring you the resources through the LLC, but also part of being the PSP program.
Awesome. And so thinking about this population of students, what are some of the needs and interests that are unique to the Provost Scholars?
So as I mentioned, a lot of our students come in with a substantial amount of college credit, meaning they want to get ahead. They want to continue on with their education, but maybe truncate that a little bit. So you have a student who's a 3-year to degree, but also wants the experiences of wanting to serve the community here in Tampa, around the world, or as I mentioned, you can learn have international studies under their belt, so that they're advantageous. A lot of our students want to take a lot of initiative out of the classroom, and a lot of the characteristics remain that they're highly focused in the classroom, but also want that other piece of the experience of what it is to be a college student. So with that, the PSP program wants to bring that to the forefront and assist our students, mentor them, guide them, and be very intentional about their choices that will hopefully apply post-graduation in either the job field or if they would like to get into grad school.
Awesome. And so let's talk a little bit about what's coming up this fall. And so I know we're still planning. There's still a lot coming together. What are some of your favorite potential experiences that might be coming to this LLC for our residents?
So we're working with our fellow advisors as well as our graduate assistant and faculty to bring different educational components to the LLC and the finer things of learning to build a cover letter, a resume, of how to network, how to have your elevator speech. My personal favorite is a Mario Kart tournament that we want to create. So again, we want that social communal aspect. I've been working hard personally on my Mario Kart skills. I hear that students can probably beat me at them, but I'm looking forward to doing that aspect. We want to have some bowling nights. Again, we want to make this experience holistic. We know that you're going to grind in your academics as well as outside of the classroom, but we want to have a very social and communal aspect where you will get peers that hopefully will last beyond just your time here at USF.
That's really cool. And so it's not just a grind every day and night. It sounds like you're
Absolutely.
looking at the social aspect as well for everyone.
Yes.
That's awesome. And so thinking about once a student has lived in this LLC for a year or longer, what do you want students to gain? What will they take away from this experience?
Well, we will definitely reinforce the experiences within PSP and where we're taking the program. So you will have the opportunity to learn on how you will gain your study abroad opportunities. You will gain experiences and skill sets necessary in professional development so that you understand what it's like to be a paraprofessional. You will learn to serve community and be a pillar of a community, whether it's here in Tampa at USF or around the world. But moreover, and I can't mention this enough, we want you to build a community here at USF within PSP, and ultimately with folks not only in the professional aspect like myself and our advisors, but also with your fellow peers in your LLC.
That's so cool. And I've got to do a little shameless plug for everyone watching. If you want to learn more on the website and also complete your application, visit usf.edu/LLC. That'll take you right to the webpage on the housing website with all the LLCs listed, including the Provost Scholars Program. You can read all the details there and complete your application in the housing portal. And so there's only a few weeks left, so you want to make sure you get in there and apply. So if you're interested, get started right now and apply for that LLC if you are one of those eligible students. And so I got a bunch of questions that have come in, some comments. Let's go ahead and see what we have got. Nyreen sent us a little wave. Nyreen, one of our outgoing PR assistants, good to see that you're watching, Nyreen. I hope you're ready to come back to grad school at the University of South Florida. Aubrey asked, will we be able to see different residence halls during orientation for transfer students? And so, Aubrey, we will have daily tours, and this is Monday through Friday, every day at 12:45 p.m., leaving from the second floor of Argos Hall. It's directly east of the Marshall Student Center, about a 2-minute walk. And so you can grab one of those 12:45 tours any day of the week. Otherwise, you can email us at housing@usf.edu and let us know when you're going to be here on campus. If you want a special tour scheduled, we'll be happy to make that happen for you. Efren says, hola. Amanda Kutchin says, Ramon is the best. We're so excited to have him at USF and to find out what he has in store for PSP. And so,
Dr. Amanda Kutchins.
And so, yeah, it should say Dr. Amanda Kutchins on here, and it doesn't. So, Dr. Kutchins, congratulations on the doctor. All right, so Jackson says, welcome to USF, Ramon, and has a question. Where did you get your tie? I love it.
I got it at Express.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Express. All right, so shameless plug for Express. No formal relationship, but hey, people shop there. And we got a little thumbs up from Kevin.
I don't know. Check Express.
And so, so Express is sending a gift card to Ramon as we speak. And so please keep those questions coming. We're going to be back in just a moment with Kathleen Koviak from Wellness USF. But first, we've got another segment of Jack Eats. We're going to learn how to make plantain tacos. We have more USF Housing Live coming your way right after this.
Hey Bulls! Catch up on episodes you may have missed and see what's coming up by visiting usf.edu/housing. Select About Us, then USF Housing Live. Choose an episode and get ready to live the Bulls life.
Hey Bulls, I'm Jack, back with more Jack Eats. I'm loving food as much as ever and ready to teach you some new great, fresh and easy recipes. So today, we're gonna be making one of my favorites, spiced plantain tacos. So just put about a ½ tablespoon of oil in your pan, and then we'll use about ½ a can of black beans if you wanna serve 2 people, or a whole can if you wanna serve 4. Now we're going to spice these up a little bit. You can start off with about ½ a teaspoon of cumin and just a pinch of cayenne pepper, and then just a pinch of salt. Mix this up and we're ready to put it on the stove. Bring it to a nice simmer and let it cook for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Now we'll move on to our plantains. You can cut up 1 plantain if you're going for 2 servings, or 2 if you're going for 4. So I'm going to cut this plantain into slices about 1 centimeter thick. Now we're ready to prep our plantains. Again, about a ½ tablespoon of oil. Go ahead and put our plantains in the pan. We're going to put in about a ½ teaspoon of cumin, about a ¼ teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of cayenne pepper, a pinch of paprika, and then just a pinch of salt. Mix this up and we're ready to put it on the stove. You should cook your plantains on high to medium heat until they're pretty brown. Now we're going to cut some fresh cilantro. I like to put a little bit of fresh cilantro into my black beans, but you can also use it just to garnish the top of your tacos. Now we're going to warm up some tortillas for our tacos. I cannot believe how good this looks. I'm Jack with Jack Eats. I hope you enjoyed cooking with me today. See you next time.
Hey everyone, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Gregory Bowers, your host. You are someone else, and you're watching USF Housing Live, streaming live from the USF Tampa campus right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So let's say hello to Kathleen Koviak. Welcome back to the program.
Thanks, Greg. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. You ready to answer some questions?
Let's do it.
All right. First thing you got to let everyone know, who are you and what do you do here?
So I am a health promotion specialist with the Center for Student Wellbeing. So we try to promote wellness on campus through different workshops, presentations, awareness campaigns on topics that are relevant to students. So alcohol and other drug prevention, sexual health, general wellness, mental health. Try to promote those things so that students can achieve personal and lifelong success.
And so for folks watching live and, of course, folks watching later in the summer, I am sure there's some stress out there. This is a huge transition for both students and families. And so as we prepare for this major life transition, what can students and families do to stay balanced?
Definitely. So I think the first thing is just to acknowledge whatever they're feeling at this point in time, whether they're nervous, excited, anxious, maybe all three at different points in time at the same time. So just naming those feelings and talking it out openly, I think is really important. Finding ways to, take care of themselves, finding things that they have fulfilling, having those activities, being with friends, especially if, they might be leaving, making time for that, and having a plan for when they get to campus for families and their student, how often they're going to check in with each other, what that communication is going to look like. And managing expectations for the student for when they come to campus, not wanting to, overdo it and try to get involved in everything right away, and being proactive about that.
So you're saying that the first week they shouldn't sign up for every organization? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, that can be very overwhelming, and there's plenty of time to find and explore your interests. There's something for every student.
Awesome. And I also like that you mentioned communication. And so are we talking about email, text, phone, kind of how we communicate and how often when it comes to families and their student?
Definitely, yeah. Whatever I think works best for the student and their family, whether it's through email or text, phone, maybe in-person visits, if that's feasible and wanted, then those are all great options.
Now, I know early in the semester I often see students come out of class and everyone's on the phone immediately with family members. Does that change over the course of a semester when you think about the total student population?
I think as students get more involved and meet new people and make friends and also get more into their classes and find their schedules filling up, I think communication with families might wane a little bit. But I think every student is different for how much contact they feel that they need and that extra support.
All right, excellent. And so let's talk about some common challenges students face when they get here on campus. What do you tend to see?
Right, so as I just mentioned, kind of making friends and fitting in, that can be a little bit of a challenge, especially if you're coming maybe from a place not so close, or you're coming from a place where not many of your friends are current friends from high school or things are gonna be here. Trying to find that right group of people in those first couple of weeks can be a challenge. So really encouraging students to know that they're all in that same boat together, which is a plus, that everyone is kind of looking to make friends and meet new people. So kind of getting outside your comfort zone a little bit and asking someone down the hall to go to an exercise class with you or grab a meal. Those are great ways to form those friendships and also get into a routine and get some healthy behaviors.
I'm glad you mentioned food, because communities are built around food, definitely. We got some more engagement here online. Kevin and Vince sent us a thumbs up, and you know what, Kevin and Vince? Thank you very much. All right, so Jamie has asked, when is the best time to start joining organizations?
So I think maybe after the first couple weeks, kind of figure out what your routine looks like, and see what your class schedule looks like, maybe what your course load is, and feel out what types of things you're looking to get involved with. And there will be kind of organization expos. There's also a online portal called BullSync. So as soon as you're able to sign up for that, you can peruse the whole list of student organizations and really find one that speaks to your interest and seek that one out.
Awesome, thank you. And so is it normal for a student to feel homesick after they arrive?
So like I said, every student's experience is different. Some students, being away from home and might have those feelings that they're missing families and friends that they kind of left behind. But the important thing to note is that if you recognize that as a possible challenge, you can be proactive about preventing it. So by doing things like trying to get involved and establishing a routine with healthy behaviors. And we have this campaign actually that Wellness USF does. It's called Get Comfortable. And it's a series of YouTube videos. If you search Wellness USF on YouTube, you can find those and look those up right now or when you get to campus. And those are a great way to learn some of those behaviors that can help you feel more comfortable on campus. But of course, if you find those things aren't helping and you aren't enough to ward off those feelings of homesickness, then we do have support services here, such as the Counseling Center, that can help you work through those feelings.
Awesome. It's excellent to know that's there. And I know we'll talk about some more resources in a moment, but I want to step back for a moment. And so when we talk about wellness, what does that mean?
So we think of wellness very holistically. It's more than just not being sick. It's more than just your physical well-being, but it's also your emotional wellness, how you can cope with those feelings of stress or negative emotions. It's your mental well-being. It's your relationships, how you can connect with other people and find satisfaction through that and find meaning and purpose. So thinking about all those things and how those contribute to how we feel and wanting students to thrive in all of those areas and succeed, both academically and personally. So we offer programming and initiatives around all of those different dimensions to really help students find that holistic ideal.
And I know before the program, we were talking about self-care. So what does good self-care look like with our students?
So definitely getting enough sleep. We hear a lot, students think that they're not going to get sleep in college. Well, that doesn't have to be the case, really.
They sleep? They're supposed to sleep? Really? There's sleeping involved?
We hope so.
Like 2 hours a night, Kathleen? Is that enough?
We recommend trying to strive for 7 to 9 hours a night and really taking the steps to make that a priority. So we know that students who sleep more actually do better in the classroom, even if they don't think that's the case. But you're able to focus better, you are more alert, you can retain information better if you sleep more. So really making that a priority in terms of self-care, as well as eating 3 balanced meals a day, getting enough exercise. And exercise can look a lot of different ways. It can be going to the gym, but it can also be doing yoga. It can be going for a bike ride, taking the stairs when you can, those little things too, just to incorporate some activity into your day. And then just finding something that you do that you enjoy and making time for that activity. So if it's listening to music, if it's drawing, if it's journaling, making time for friends, those little things, even if it's just for a few minutes, making sure that you take that time for yourself.
I like that you put it that way. You mentioned making time. And so what are your thoughts on students actually scheduling out their day, treating college like a job, and even scheduling social time and activities? Well, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's important. We find that time management can be an issue for students, and especially new students dealing with, these big blocks of open time. So filling that with, I'm going to work on this class during this time. I'm going to hang out with this group of friends. I'm going to be involved with this intramural sport, and having that more sense of a schedule and a routine is really great and really important, or just time for yourself and scheduling that time for yourself too.
Thank you. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I know when we start in college, the freedom can seem so exciting when you say have a free open schedule, but at the same time can be quite daunting and suffocating if you don't plan ahead and plan your day. And so I'm glad that you could share that with us. Yeah. And so I've got I got a live question and a question I want to ask. I will save just a moment. We'll come to that live question. But first, I got to ask, tell us about these resources on campus, the places students can go and the services that are offered for different things they might need over the course of their time here on campus.
So one resource we really like to talk about are our wellness centers. We have a location in the Marshall Student Center, and we also have a location on the 2nd floor of the FIT recreational facility. And these are spaces where students can go to get wellness resources, including a massage. We have massage chairs in there. We have nap pods at the FIT. We have sleep packs, talked about the importance of sleep. So those contain an eye mask, earplugs, tea, tips for a good night's sleep. So maybe if you have a disruptive roommate or someone who lives down the hall that's disrupting your sleep, you can use those to have a nice sleep environment. We have sexual health resources there, fresh fruit. So great place to pop in during the day and recharge. There's also student health services that will meet any of your physical needs if you get sick or injured on campus. The counseling center that I talked about, those are free services for students. And success and wellness coaching, you can talk and meet with someone if you have any goals that you want to set, such as like time management and things. They'll meet with you and talk one-on-one about those goals and hold you accountable to those.
I love hearing that. It's just one of those things. We're a big school, but hearing about that shows that it just makes it smaller, more manageable, more individual for the student. That's just awesome. Thank you so much for joining us in the program. I got a question here. I think I can field this one. And so Jamie asks, and also, opinion on 8 a.m. classes, if those are a thing. And so, geez, guess, are those a thing? I say, yes, they are, 8 a.m. classes. This is your favorite, Ramon? Do you like 8 a.m. classes?
Yeah, with like a venti coffee.
So I like that. That's also another shameless plug, folks. We have Starbucks on campus. Did you know we're going to have another Starbucks, a big Starbucks with more food options, coming to the first floor of Pinnacle Hall in the Village? Is that news for Ramon?
I'm excited.
Yeah, we got
apparently a
Starbucks.
Publix too, so that's coming up.
There is going to be a Publix, and I do like to remind everyone, because I only get one question when I mention, well, I get two questions. One is, can we park there? No, you can't. It's a Publix. Sorry, not student parking, but it does have Publix subs coming, and so you'll be able to get a pub sub over in Publix. We know that's very popular, but there will be plenty of parking on campus, and of course parking nearby the Village. More information coming on that in a little bit. And I got another question here. Okay, we can stay on for another minute. We'll go a little long here. Isabella asks, what about on-campus jobs? Do you have any tips of when to get one? That's a great question, Isabella. And so if you have been admitted to USF, you are already eligible to apply for student jobs. And of course, all you got to do is Google USF Careers. There's a website called Careers at USF. But if you just Google USF Careers, you'll get the link. First hit there, and then you can follow the instructions, and you can actually search all student jobs. It's a little early. A lot of the student jobs won't post until late July, but you can apply to those. And so some of you may be looking for a federal work-study job. You'll see that in your financial aid in Oasis. And if you're a federal work-study student, those jobs are exclusively for you. And then there are other student jobs that are non-FWS or federal work-study, open to all students, including federal work-study, of course. And so you can check all those out on the Careers at USF website and begin applying today to jobs that might be opening up for the summer, if you're summer B, or in the fall. Though it's not necessary for you to work on campus in that first semester, if you're able to take a semester or two before working, I generally recommend that. But at the same time, everyone's needs are different. Everyone is unique, and you have to do what's best for you. But if you're able to have more time for studying and preparing for class, and of course being involved outside of the extracurriculars, that's always a good thing. And so if you're able to put off work for a little bit, that's a good idea. But otherwise, yes, you can start applying right today. And so we are just about out of time, folks. I want to thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to our crew for putting all this together. USF Housing Live is produced by Housing and Residential Education at the University of South Florida in Tampa. Our motto is best place to live, best place to work, best place to learn. I'm your host, Gregory Bowers. We'll be back next Wednesday, May 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/USF Housing, facebook.com/USF Housing, and here in the USF Class of 2022 Facebook group. Our theme next week is going to be all about staying safe on campus, a lot of safety resources, things that you should be signing up for right now, and we're going to have a fun tidbit of knowledge about what you can do if you desire midnight breakfast. So, folks, there is just one last thing. Go Bulls! Good night, everyone.